Hey guys, hope you're doing well. And today I have in front of me some Koenigsegg Ageras from Tarmac Works. Now, these models are older. They're not super old, they're not like vintage or anything, but they're kind of older from a time where Koenigsegg was still relatively new to the diecast manufacturing. They weren't real popular. Well, they were popular, but they weren't as popular as they are today. And they used to have the Koenigsegg license. And I believe the only Koenigsegg's that they produced were the Ageras. So I have in front of me three of them. These two are in blister packaging. This one I bought used. I think I bought both of these ones brand new, but this one I bought used, so it's just in the box. And I kind of realized as I was looking at my collection that this is the first time I've actually reviewed any Koenigsegg from any brand. And it's kind of perfect timing too, because Koenigsegg has been announcing and showing off some new Koenigsegg models that they will be releasing, I think, early 2024, hopefully in quarter one, maybe quarter two, maybe quarter four of this year. We'll see one, but I don't think so, because at the Hong Kong Diecast salon that just happened about a week ago at this point, they showed off Hong Kong at their booth at the show, showed off, I think, three prototype samples that they're working on. I will put them on screen. I believe they are doing the new Koenigsegg Agera. I think they are doing the Koenigsegg Jesko, or maybe it's the Jesko, I think it's called the Attack version. And then I also think they're doing, I think it's called the CC850 or the CX850. I think it's an older, Koenigsegg. But I actually think Koenigsegg is actually like redoing that one. So maybe it is the newer one, but I think it's the older one. So it's those three. I'll put pictures up on screen with what they're actually called so you can see that. So perfect timing. Koenigsegg finally got Tarmac Works finally got the Koenigsegg license back. So I figured today we would take a look at some. And let's start off with this one right here. So this one is in a tan box. I believe it came in blister packaging just like those, but I unfortunately don't have it. So in some of these older Global 64 series, they came in like these little boxes that look like shipping containers. I would have appreciated it if Tarmac Works would have included like a little tray for them to sit in. But these blister packs are really cool because you can actually open them and reseal them, so you don't have to throw the packaging away when you open your model. You can just put it back in or leave it empty or whatever. So these Koenigsegg's are kind of funky. I love them. They are awesome, but they're funky, and we'll get into that in a second. But let's start off with the wheels. So as you can see, they have 5-spoke wheels, or this one has 5-spoke wheels at least. The tires aren't great. You can see that they don't sit on the wheel very well. There's the back one. They're kind of uneven, and they have like weird lumps, so they're not like super like smooth and round. So that's kind of one of the first hiccups with these. Now remember, this is when Koenigsegg was still kind of new. I don't remember the exact year that Koenigsegg started. I will do some research after and edit in post, and I'll put up a little bit more information as we kind of talk about these. But these were kind of when Tarmac Works was earlier on, and so there are some flaws and some weird little quirks that they've since solved on their models. But as you can see, the wheels are not super great. The treads look fine on them, but they're kind of I don't know, you can see that this wheel itself is just kind of uneven. I don't know if that's the tire, but that's kind of how these Ageras are, and they don't really roll super smooth either because the tires are all lumpy. But the rims are kind of bland. They're not super detailed, but they're all right for what they are. You got the lug in the center, just some simple 5 spokes. These actually do have brake details, but as you can see looking into there, the brake rotors, they're just black and they're just flat. They're just little circular discs, and then they have a little orange caliper on this side. And I don't even think that I don't know for sure. I'll try to do some research and tell you if it's accurate or not on screen, but the brake rotor, I think, is supposed to be on this side of the wheel, not on the back side, but I could be wrong on the Koenigsegg's. I'm not exactly sure. I'm not knocking Tarmac Works for that because I don't know for sure. But yeah, the brakes are kind of, they're kind of mid. They're not really that great. Coming along to the side, we have some really nice paint on this one. It's like a graphite color. It's kind of like a real dark gray metallic, and it actually does look really good. And then you have your gold accent lines going along the door. You have some accent lines down here with some venting that feeds air into the engine bay. I think this little badge right here says Griffin. Yeah, the paint looks really good on this. Definitely not knocking the paint. It looks pretty amazing. A little reflector back here behind the tire. Going around to the front, you can see above the tire we do have some venting. Nothing to complain about with that. Looks pretty good. Koenigsegg badge right there leaves a little bit to be desired. The printing isn't super detailed. In fact, I think it might just be gold. I don't actually think there's any detail in the logo. But there is some nice gold lines running up the hood right here. I think that's probably some more like venting. You've got your single windshield wiper that sits vertically on the roof. Ignore my fingerprint on the windshield. There's this little thing right here. I'm wondering if that's actually maybe like a handle or something to like open the hood. Probably wrong. I can't see why that would be a thing. But it's got a little gold line on it. The headlights aren't great on this one. I think they're better on the other two behind us. But they are acrylic inserted, and they do have some like actual bulb details behind them. But the way they put them in, whatever super glue they used, it's very, very cloudy. So they're very dull and kind of grungy looking. But back up on the front, there is some like gold accents on some of the meshing right here, which is kind of nice. Then there's some more at the bottom. Right here on the front lip, you have gold on both sides, and then it kind of runs around the front. Nothing to complain about. It does look kind of pretty good from the front end. And then coming around to this side, you'll kind of see the wheels are just kind of wonky again on this side. Not as bad as the other side, though, but same details, same gold lines and accents going down, same Griffin right there. Going along to the roof, these Ageras have a really interesting like U shape along the roof because it has like this sun/moon roof, but then you have some gold lines going all the way back to the rear wing, which is kind of cool. Going around to like the back area right here, we have some venting for the rear tire wells right there. On the back, we have our Ghost Squadron badge right on like the engine hatch window. We have like this little, I think this is like a little like air scoop that feeds air into the engine bay. You can see the wing on this one, it kind of, it's supported in here, and then it kind of goes back. Really cool looking wing. Pretty well done on this one. The paint is like a glossy black. And then on the side of the wing, you have RS, because this is the Agera RS in like some nice cool font. Some nice cool gold font on both sides. So it does look pretty nice. On the rear end, we have a single exhaust tip right here, and it's outlined in gold. We also have this rear mesh kind of outlined in gold as well. You have your back taillights, which are acrylic inserted, but as you can see, they're pretty uneven. Like they weren't glued in super well, but the headlights themselves do look good. They're just not straight. Then we've got some red reflectors right there, and a pretty nice looking rear diffuser on the back. So one more, the final biggest like feature about this car is that the engine hatch does come off. So I really wish it didn't, to be honest with you. I wish it didn't come off. I mean, it is cool that it kind of has opening parts. You can see the window piece kind of comes down and supports itself right there. There's a little bit of engine detail back here. Like there's a crossbar right there. There's exhaust detail. I don't know if this right here is like engine covers and it looks like there might be like some cross braces, but really the detail is just not that good. I really think they should have just made it a solid piece. Like, that's not really much to look at, really. I think it looks better with the rear hatch on. But going along with that, it's not really much detail, so I don't really understand why they did it, unless they should have did it for like a Hobby 64 series where it's more detailed, but I don't know, it just kind of looks weird. It just doesn't look like it should be a thing. And then here's your back panel. It is nice. It is die-cast metal, but the spoiler is plastic. So when you're taking it off and putting it on, you have to be careful with that to not break the spoiler. There's the bottom side. You can see the this little window piece is kind of riveted into the metal. So last complaint about it, and the biggest thing that makes this back hatch kind of wonky is when you reattach it and when it's actually attached to the car, it doesn't really sit on the car firmly. It's very loose. You can kind of push it into place, but it doesn't stay very well. There's not a clip or anything, which might be a good thing, but it's kind of wonky because when you're looking at it from the back, you can see that where the back hatch rests on this back bumper piece right here, it's not flat. When you push it, you can kind of push it down on. It looks pretty flush on this side, but then it kind of raises up and there's a big body line right here. And it just kind of looks funky. So while the cars themselves do look kind of cool and they are pretty good attempts at a pretty decently detailed Koenigsegg, it's just with the brakes and the tires and then the back hatch, it's just kind of, I don't really knock the kind of foggy headlights because that can happen with any brand at any time, but I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the engine hatch coming off. I just don't think it was necessary, and the brakes definitely could have been better. I almost wish they wouldn't have brake details because they just don't look good in my opinion. But this is kind of our black graphite gray with the gold accents. I don't know exactly what the color is called because I don't have the packaging anymore. But it does look good. The bottom of these are metal, and it's that same graphite. Oh, there you go, right there. It actually says it on this. So 164 Koenigsegg Agera RS. I like that they did that. And as you can see, it has the old Tarmac Works logo on it. Well, at least I think that's the old Tarmac Works logo. Maybe that is the new one. Not sure, but yeah, it's all right. So that kind of takes you through the main features of these. They're pretty much all the same, just slightly different coloring. So we'll go through the next two faster, but the packaging on these is really nice. It's blister clamshell packaging. Here's all the details. There's your UPC right there, all your Tarmac Works details. These are licensed by Koenigsegg. I don't see any licensing anywhere, but they are licensed by Koenigsegg, so you don't have to worry about that. And then the back of the blister pops open and it's hinged on the bottom, so you can take out the card, which does look pretty good. It's a nice glossy material. And then you have your little storage box, which I don't recommend using because there's no plastic tray. So your car is just going to kind of sit in there and rattle around and potentially get damaged. So if you're gonna store it, I'd recommend keeping the clamshell packaging. So here's the car. It comes in a little clamshell. Actually, no. I was gonna say maybe this little tray fits in the box, but there's no way. It's not big enough. They should have made it like that, but anyways, this one is in the yellow and black color with some red trim. I think it looks pretty good. This was actually, I think, the first one that I got. Actually, I think depending on where you live, if you live in the US, you might actually be able to pick these up for retail price on eBay still. So I do like this one a lot more. This particular one feels a lot more solid than this black one back here. The engine hatch stays on a lot more firmly. The tires on this one are actually a bit better. I think this is one of the last ones that they released. So I think for this particular one, they got some of the little problems sorted out. You can see there's still a little bit of flaws on the tires, but the brakes are still kind of shoddy. They're just flat black discs with little tiny calipers. I don't know, do the calipers look small to you guys? Let me try to get it right. It's I don't know, it just feels very skinny and very short. I feel like the brakes should be bigger on a car like this, but anyways, just some slight differences. Obviously the paint is different. It's a nice yellow metallic paint on this one. It does look really nice. There's the Agera RS logo right there on this little black piece. Some red trim down at the bottom. We've got the same like air vent, some black pinstriping going up. Pretty much same front end, except the front lip is red all the way around. It looks pretty good. The headlights on this one are not near as foggy as the charcoal gray one, so it does look pretty good. Still a little bit of glue residue on the inside, but not as bad. The mirrors on these are plastic. And the funny thing about this, I forgot to mention with the charcoal one, is that the mirrors do not come attached to the cars, which I don't understand. That's another like weird little thing about these Ageras. So the mirrors actually come separate in a little tiny Ziploc bag. I don't think I have the bag, but you can see there's a piece of tape on the bottom of this. They actually tape the little bag to the bottom of this little car holder. And you have to put the mirrors on yourself. But the mirrors really suck and they do not stay in the car. If you try to like take these little tiny mirrors and stick them in the little holes right here, on all three of these cars, they just fell out. They didn't even stay in for at all. Like, so what I did is I took the mirror, I took a little tiny drop of super glue, dipped the mirror in the super glue and stuck them in the holes so that they are permanent. I did that with all three of them. So if you get this brand new, one of them brand new, the mirrors will not be attached. I recommend gluing them on, especially because the little trays, as you can see, it has a little space for the mirrors to be on and still in this little clamshell. It doesn't mess with them at all. So glue the mirrors on, unless you're a purist and you don't like to do anything to your cars and you like to leave them 100% factory. I get it. I'm kind of like that myself. I just really didn't see the point of having loose mirrors in a bag, because these cars looked kind of funky because there's like big old holes in the doors with no mirrors. It looked kind of weird. But anyways, yeah, the mirrors do not come attached. Be careful. If you ever buy these used, make sure that it comes with the mirrors. If it doesn't come with the mirrors, I probably wouldn't buy it unless it's a really good price. Anyways, yeah, pretty much the same details. This one does not have the Ghost Squadron on the back window. Pretty much same stuff on the back. We've got silver outlining, some red trim around the diffuser, and it looks like the back of these little diffusers are painted yellow. Taillights on this one look a little bit better. This one's not all the way seated in there, but it's not too bad. And then the back of this one is actually pretty tough to get off, which is kind of weird. You have to, it's really firmly in there and you pull it. Same details, kind of not very good in my opinion. Don't know why they did it. It would have been better if this was a solid piece. Hopefully they don't do this with the new Koenigsegg's that they're doing. I think it's just unnecessary. But as again, you can see it just doesn't really sit flush at the back. Like there's a big old body line. You can see like there's light coming through that little crack. But yeah, everything else looks pretty good. We've got little red RS badges on the side of the wings, so they do look good on display for sure. But they're just they're kind of weird. They've just got some weird characteristics about them. But now we'll take a look at the favorite that I have. These are the only three that I have. This is the Koenigsegg Agera prototype. I don't know if this was like Koenigsegg's actual prototype model, but it's a little bit different than the two RSs, I guess. I don't really see the difference, but it is nice. Global 64, the artwork looks really good. It's got the gray box. There's all your UPC and information on the back. Same type of clamshell, so we can get this opened, take a look at it. I don't know if I think there are chases that exist for these. I'm sure that they'd probably be hard to find because some of these are really hard to find now. But yeah, I think some of these did have chases if you're interested in knowing about that. So once again, pretty much the same car, and the back of this one is very loose. I don't know, just kind of weird. But taking a look at the wheels, we have like some nice yellow trim going around the wheels. We do have the same pretty lame brake details in there, and actually I think the caliper on this one is a silver color, or maybe it is black, can't really tell. But yeah, I do like the yellow, gray, and blue accents on this one. It does look kind of nice. You can see that yellow pinstriping going up with the blue down here. There's the Agera badge right there. Going around to the front, pretty much the same front end. We've got some yellow accents right here, right beneath that mesh. Our Koenigsegg badge right there. It looks a little small to me. I think it might be a little small, but nice meshing in here. The headlights on this one I think look the best out of the three. They are the clearest. Yeah, just very nice. On the top we have some blue trim, some blue pinstriping going all the way down. We do have our Ghost Squadron logo on the back window right here, or I guess you would call this like the engine hatch window. So it does look pretty good. I do like it. I believe this little square rectangle thing right here is probably the fuel filler, because I don't see one anywhere else. But yeah, looks good. Once again, these mirrors are glued in because I didn't want to worry about losing them. On the spoiler back here, we do have some yellow line, a yellow line going around the back. Taillights on this one look the best out of the three. We've got our silver outlined exhaust tip right there, little diffuser, and this rear hatch is very loose. Once again, same exact detail, nothing different on this Agera prototype, but there's your back engine hatch. Pretty much the same, nothing really different, except this one is very loose. And this one has the same problems. It's got like this weird gap that runs all the way across the bottom, and I don't know, it's loose, and I don't know, I just don't like it. I do like the cars, and I think it's a cool part of Tarmac history, and these are some of the only like more detailed Koenigsegg's that we've ever gotten. And I'll clarify by saying that we have gotten from a brand that actually licensed them. There are some Chinese diecast brands out there that I recommend people stay away from, that kind of just sell junk that isn't licensed. But yeah, we don't really see Koenigsegg too often from like Mini GT or Tarmac Works or any of the other brands. So it's cool to look at some of these older Agera models that Tarmac Works has done, and I'm really excited for the new ones that they're coming out with. We'll have to take a look at the new Tarmac ones compared to the poster cars ones that came out. If anyone's interested in that, we'll do a little comparison. But anyways, that's the video. Oh, one last detail I'll point out real quick, and then we'll go. You can see the wing has the little supports right there below this glass piece. Same exact thing on the yellow one, but this black one actually is a little bit different. You can see that the supports for the wing start like all the way up on the back of the engine hatch. So the wing supports are a little bit different, but the shape of the wing looks pretty much exactly the same. So little small difference, I guess, but pretty much all three of them are the exact same. But anyways, kind of a longer video, but I thought this would be really cool to show off these three Tarmac Works Koenigsegg Agera RS's, or not RS, but the Agera prototype. So anyways, hope you enjoyed. Drop a like if you did. If you're new to the channel and want to see more content like this, definitely don't be afraid to subscribe. We'd love to have you around, and we'll see you guys in the next video.